What if I told you addiction doesn't start with drugs? It starts with a tiny moment your brain secretly enjoys. A notification, a sip of cola, one short video, one cigarette, one late-night scroll. And before you realize it, your brain rewires itself against you. The scary part: most addicted people never notice the moment they lose control, because addiction doesn't arrive like a monster. It enters quietly, like a friend. Imagine this. A scientist places a rat inside a cage. There are two buttons. One button gives food. The other releases dopamine, the brain's pleasure chemical. At first, the rat presses both buttons normally. But slowly, something terrifying happens. The rat stops eating, stops sleeping, stops caring about survival. It keeps pressing the dopamine button again and again until death. Now here's the uncomfortable question. What if humans are living in the same cage? 1. How addiction begins. So most people think addiction is about weak willpower, but psychology says something darker. Addiction is actually a learning system. Your brain is designed to repeat anything that gives pleasure or removes pain. That's why the first experience always feels harmless. One drink becomes stress relief. One game becomes escape. One scroll becomes comfort, and your brain starts taking notes. This makes me feel better. Repeat this. Again. That's how the trap begins, not with pain, with pleasure. 2. The dopamine trap. Here's where it gets dangerous. People think dopamine creates happiness. Wrong. Dopamine creates desire. It makes you want something again. That's why addicted people often don't even enjoy the thing anymore, but still crave it desperately. The brain slowly changes. Normal life becomes boring. Silence feels uncomfortable. Simple happiness disappears. And suddenly, your brain needs stronger stimulation just to feel normal. This is why addictions grow. A few minutes become hours. One cigarette becomes a pack. One video becomes an all-night binge, because the brain keeps moving the finish line. 3. Why smart people get addicted. Here's something most people never realize. Addiction doesn't target weak people. In fact, some of the smartest minds become addicted fastest. Why? Because intelligent people often overthink more. They feel stress deeper, emotions hit harder, and addiction offers something extremely seductive: temporary control. For a few moments, the brain finally becomes quiet. No anxiety, no pressure, no loneliness, just relief. And the human brain will do almost anything to escape pain, even if the escape slowly destroys it. 4. Social media and modern addiction. Now look around. Companies study addiction psychology better than psychologists themselves. Apps are designed to trap attention. Infinite scrolling, random rewards, notifications, short videos. Your brain never knows when the next exciting thing will appear. And psychology has a name for this: variable reward. The same system used in casinos. That's why people check their phones hundreds of times daily without thinking. Not because they're lazy, because their brain has been trained. Every swipe whispers the same dangerous sentence. Maybe the next one will feel better. 5. The scariest part, but the darkest part of addiction isn't the habit itself. It's identity change. At first, you control the habit. Then the habit controls your schedule, then your emotions, then your decisions. And finally, it controls who you become. That's why addicted people often say, "I don't even recognize myself anymore," because addiction slowly replaces discipline with impulse, reality with escape, and goals with cravings. Quietly, day by day. So be careful, but psychology also reveals something hopeful. The brain that learns addiction can also unlearn it, because every addiction starts with repetition, and every recovery starts the exact same way. One small decision repeated daily, one less scroll, one less excuse, one moment of control, then another and another. Because the real battle was never against the addiction. It was against the version of you that believed you needed it to survive. So next time you reach for that habit automatically, pause for 1 second and ask yourself, did I choose this, or was I trained to? If this video changed the way you see addiction, subscribe for more psychology videos that expose the hidden systems controlling human behavior. Thanks for watching. Keep support.